what we got today. So we got a Razor RX200. This is like a pet project I've been working on in the background. This is made to be sold to a friend of mine. So, you know, he just wanted something cool that both him and his son could share. And this is kind of what we came up with. So this is a, like I said, it's a Razor RX200. This is a dirt model that was, like, it's made for off-road use, so light off-road use. Made by Razor, obviously, and it came with originally with a 250 watt brushed motor and was chain driven. So we're still keeping the chain drive on this one. You can see I still got some paint there, but it'll be fine. So the first thing to do with this one when I got it was do a battery upgrade. It needed the batteries that were in it, the sealed lead acids that come with are horrible. So we got a 10S 4P lithium pack installed in there. Now with the lithium packs, if you're going to lay them sideways like I did, which means laying the cells this way versus standing them up, either way you're going to end up just a little bit over the height of the bar here. So like with this one, I've actually used a 1/2 inch thick piece of plywood, and I have it routed out inside the shape of the battery so that it can actually have a little bit of extra height and it doesn't allow the battery to slide back and forth or left right. You may have noticed it's got this little battery meter on top. As I didn't want to run more wiring and cables up at the top, therefore increasing the chance that, you know, something get damaged in the cabling. Because like I said, this is going to be ridden by a 14-year-old. You just put this little push button here, you push it, it's got battery voltage and battery meter, and you can just let go, and this is whether it's on or off. You can always just check battery level real quick. It virtually draws nothing. I think I've marked it as dropping 0.1 volt every 2 weeks, which is, you know, fairly solid. All you gotta do is make sure you maintain it, and I already told them if you want to store this over winter or something like that, it has a BMS module installed, so just take the 4 screws out and you can pull it out and unplug the battery and you'll be all good to go. So this is clearly not the top that comes with it, so this is actually just a plywood one painted green with some camo grip tape. The back is a piece of heated and folded PVC. It's a sheet PVC that you can fold. I've got it just in the shape of a fender, hooked into the rear fender mounts where it used to be, and the 2 bolt holes up front. This seems to be strong enough and solid. It doesn't flex at all, even if you stand on it. This was a really nice model to use because the tires on this one, unlike some of the E200s or the E300s, the 200X, I believe what was this called again? The 200X or something like that, or 200RX. This off-road one actually has 65 PSI tires, or 60 PSI. So higher PSI tires with knobbies. The tires actually hold up fairly well. It does have a turn stop built into the head tube, so no oversteering on accident. Nice, solid, traditional clamp. No folding on this model. But since it was going to be going from a strictly kid scooter to a possible adult teen scooter, it did have like about an 8-inch increase, about an 8-inch extension welded in. Just cut the handlebars off and welded in an extension. Up top, we're running some Snafu clamp-on grips, just a power switch, a regular thumb throttle. Whoops, so I can show that to you. There you go. Whoops. Oops, there we go. There's that. So just a normal thumb throttle. I thought a thumb throttle was safer bet than doing a twist throttle, because if it does start to get away from you, at least your finger will fall off a thumb throttle instead of try to grip down harder to hold on and accidentally turn it. We still got the regular brakes, and it's only got 1 brake on this unit, like this scooter. So this scooter has a disc brakes. Pretty simple there. Not sure on the size of those. But yeah, easy and great stopping. I'm a heavy guy, and even riding this, when I hit the brakes, it locks up on me. Now, something interesting you may have seen is, I'll flip this around and show you. So then the other side here, we have a very, very big speed controller on there, and obviously it's been relabeled to make it legal, you know. So just making sure we stay legal, and we don't want nobody to take our scooters away, you know. It's still using the stock kickstand. That is just dirty, but it's fine. Yeah, here's a better look at the disc brakes there. Let's see if I can get a grip on this here and show you. Just some simple disc brakes. They don't have a lot of clearance on the side of the tire, actually. So they're fairly large disc, but they do work amazingly well. So as far as what I've done here is I have to have a controller mounted outside the box, because with all the wiring and the batteries and the cables running from front to back as well, there's almost no room inside to have a controller. If I did want to have a controller for this size motor, I would have to have like a vest or something like that, because it'd have to be so much smaller. So as far as a cheap option goes, I think this is a really cheap option. This is a 1500 watt 36 volt e-bike speed controller. You can just find these anywhere on eBay, Amazon, cheapest you can find them. And you see I've got the charge port mounted here up in front. It's got a little rubber cap on it. That's just a 36 volt plug. It's running the 5.5 by 2.1 port. And yeah, nothing special up here. That's all the same. There you go. So yeah, next I'm going to show you exactly what I've done with the motor, because that's probably the most interesting thing. Boom. There we go. So this is actually running a 6374 brushless outrunner on it. Yeah, fairly simple setup. All it was making a bracket. This whole assembly was just making a bracket. Since the shaft on this is 10 mil, you can easily find a 10 mil sprocket that has the same you can find a sprocket that fits this chain size that has a 10 mil bore fairly easily. Yep, and it's just a little Allen key lock. Make sure you Loctite that so it doesn't fall off. And yeah, the simplest things, right? Because it's got a pretty heavy duty chain tensioner already on it, so you're not going to lose that. It doesn't ever lose grip. I mean, it is just perfectly aligned. And all it was just drilling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes. Just drill 5 holes, and that's all it takes to mount this on. On the top, you can see I've actually, it looks like it's bolted on, but it's actually not. This plate here actually has, it's welded on from the top. So this bracket was just welded in place of the original stock bracket that unbolts. So not too terribly hard to do. It was I think it was a one afternoon throw together, and it worked perfectly. And the best part about it is you're taking, oh, I probably should show you. This is a 6374 170. Yeah, 170 kV. I don't know what the BDU AV stands for, but that's what it says. Whoa, excuse me. There we go. Yeah, so the great thing about these motors is when you run these motors, they tend to run about 1500 watts continuous with no problems. I know they max out somewhere like above 2500 watts, so I think they max out like 29 or something like that. But yeah, running at 1500 continuously off of such a big beefy controller really isn't a problem for them. You do have to be careful you're going to mount it this way. If I had to do this again, I would probably find just anywhere else to mount this. Just because you can already see where I've hit the ground a couple of times. But yeah, this is going to be a fun little street and dirt machine for my friends. and I figured I'd get some information about it so you guys can look it over and maybe come up with maybe this is an idea you want to do. I mean, you're going to take a 250 watt scooter and turn it into a 1500 watt scooter by just changing one of the brackets and buying a new motor. And if getting a cheap controller, and hell, you could even use the lead acid you already had. Just add one more. It's really that easy. All right, thanks for checking us out, guys. I appreciate it. Leave a like if you want to see more interesting vehicles that I pick up on the regular. I actually have another one right now that'll be in this episode coming up soon, and it's something that hasn't been seen in like 16 years, like something that hasn't been seen since 2005. So that'll be an interesting video to see when it comes out. But yeah, I'll talk to you later, and thanks.